Hi everyone. I'm looking forward to sharing the summer with you. So what we're going to do is go through our course. This is Nursing 791. And through this course, we're actually going to progress in your project. So the first thing that we're going to do overall is solidify chapter number 1. And then we're going to dive into chapter number 2 and attain IRB approval. So with that being said, you're all at different spots in your project, so it kind of depends where you are and how we're going to progress. We do have a solidified time frame for this particular course, and those are like the end dates for each component, but you can most certainly finish things quicker than that. We just don't want to bypass those end dates because then it will really impede your progression. So I just wanted to kind of give that to you up front. Also, we're in Brightspace, and I want you to be very honest with me if there's something that needs to be done differently. And this is the first time that I've actually done a Brightspace course. So please tell me if something doesn't make sense or if it seems like something is missing. So with the course itself, you'll see that there are the widgets, and we have, of course, our announcements and start here. And then we have all of our leadership modules, and it's very similar to 790. So you'll find that they're based on the student learning outcomes. So we'll go through that very quickly. And here's my contact information and additional information as well. And you'll find our most recent announcements in this area and just some brief information about me. So that's kind of how the course is set up. So let's go ahead and take a dive into the course. So let's start here. And what you'll find are the syllabus, what's where, and that's the student learning outcomes and what's listed under each of the student learning outcomes. So you'll see very similar to how it was in our past 790. So you'll know where all those documents are. Basically the timeline for the course itself, and that's just an outline of the progression of the components that we will be doing. And of course our advanced project guidelines. You'll find the rubrics for chapter 1 and chapter 2 here. And as far as the rubric for the scholarly project presentation, that's something that we will be doing towards the end of this course, again, to talk to your entire committee at one time. We do also have IRB tools that will help you as you're submitting for IRB, and just remember you do your organization first. You get either a letter or an IRB there, and then we'll move into the IRB for McKendree. And with that, we have the informed consent sample for tacit approval. That's when you're using surveys and don't require a signature. A debrief, and that is a mandatory thing at McKendree University for the IRB approval. Here's a sample for an organizational approval letter that you can use as a template if your facility would like to have one. This is the IRB checklist, and this will help you to make sure that you have absolutely everything in what you need as far as IRB application. And then also the exemplar consent that does require a signature. So there's two different exemplars for the consent. One is for tacit approval, and the other one is for that you actually attain a signature. So just know that there's a little bit of difference between those two. And of course the gold standard, as far as I will do everything within my power to give you feedback within 1 week, and I will let you know if it does extend beyond that. And also that I try to return emails just as quickly as possible. An email is the best way to communicate unless there's something of urgent nature, and then feel free to use my cell phone and you can text me, but just let me know who you are when you text so I know. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, as we go into the leadership modules themselves, you'll see that there's the contract for success, and that is the it's technically a quiz, but that's where you delineate your specific timeline, and that's after we have our initial conversation. Just remember, we need to have our initial conversation in the very first week to set those deadlines. And then we get into what's where, and we kind of touched on that. That's the student learning outcomes, so you know what documents are in each component. And then we also have some of the forms here that you will need to complete for this particular course. And then we get into the individual student, those are underneath the student learning outcomes. So the student learning outcome number 2, this is where you have your scholarly project overview, and the PowerPoint template is here for your convenience. All the documents that you need for each one of the different student learning outcomes to complete this course are embedded under the leadership modules. So just know that they're there. So really it's relatively basic as far as the course. And the big things to remember, just as a review, is that we need to meet the first week. So make sure that you reach out to me, contact me, and we'll set up a time. And these are the actual due dates, the final due dates for each one of the components of the course itself. So just remember that these are the last dates for, say, chapter number 1 has to be completed by June the 16th, but if you have it done by June the 2nd, that's perfectly fine, and that's wonderful. And the same holds true with the other components. So just remember also in this course that we will be adding to your practicum hours, so we need to have verification of that cumulative of 225 practicum hours, and that's above and beyond your literature review, your certification, and your transfer hours. So just know that that's a cumulative amount at this time. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Like I said, this is the first Brightspace experience, so give me feedback and let me know if there's anything in particular that we need to do differently to make it more effective for you. So thank you so much, and I look forward to sharing the summer with you.